Parshas Pinchas discusses how Moshe is told by Hashem how they should split up the inheritance of the land of Eretz Yisrael among the Jewish people. Find right after Shlishi, Hashem says, to these who were just counted, meaning the Torah has just finished counting the 601,730 males over 20 who are now the members of the Bnei Yisrael, about to enter Eretz Yisrael. And to these, the land is divided, meaning based on these numbers. If there's more people in a tribe, then that tribe will get a bigger inheritance. If there's less people in a tribe, then that tribe will get less inheritance. So, how are they going to choose who gets what? There's going to be a gorel, there's going to be a lottery system. They're going to give it out based on a gorel. What does it mean? It's going to be based on a gorel, and it's going to be al pi hagorel. So Rashi quotes the Gemara in Bava Basra, Kuf Chav Beis explains there was a few miracles going on here at once. That Elazar and the Yoshua they're standing together, and the Elazar was wearing the Urim V'Tumim, and he would consult with the Urim V'Tumim which Shevet should get which part. And they also had two lottery boxes. They had one box with the names of the Shvatim and one box with the names of the different areas. And they would, the Gorel, the Elazar would announce this Shevet is now coming up and this portion is now coming up. And then they would pick out the lottery tickets. And yes, they would get the Nasi would come and get that piece, get his Shevets, and also get the portion of the Gorel that Yeshua, that Elazar had announced. It says in the pasuk it was al pi hagorel. If there was actually Hashem made a miracle that the Gorel, the lottery ticket itself, would talk and say, I came up for such and such boundary for such and such Shevet. So at least three different divine signs that was being apportioned here is correct. I would suggest maybe we need so many divine signs because at the end of the day this is going to be the apportionment for the Jewish people for all the generations. As we know that even when people would sell a property, it would usually go back at Yovel. So this is it. This is for the family. So to prevent any potential strife or machlokas about this, we had to have so many miracles to make it clear that this is the Ratzon Hashem, these and these portions for these and these shvatim. So it's very interesting. The psukim are a little bit, on the one hand, it's this Eila Techalik Aret, which implies that the division is based on the names of and the numbers of what we're counting now. And at the same time, it says in the pasuk, Shmos Matos Avosam Yinchalu, the names of the matos of the fathers, which implies the people who left Mitzrayim. So Rashi says it's really both. Try to explain the math. Rashi says basically if you had two people who left Mitzrayim, and now we're dealing with now they passed away over the 40 years, and now we're dealing with their sons. So let's say you had two people who were from the Yotzei Mitzrayim, from the Shevet, Chaim and Nasan, and then Chaim has one son and Nasan has three sons. So based on this now, so there's four people, so there's going to be four portions given to them. But now when we go back and we split up the four portions, we say there were two fathers, and so it's split evenly between the two fathers, and the one with one son, he gets the double, and the other three split the other half. And that's the way that Rashi explains, that's how it's supposed to be split up. So it's that interesting system where it's sort of based on the numbers we have now, and it's sort of based on the numbers of the Yotzei Mitzrayim. So you can ask a question, very sophisticated question, why? Why is it set up based on this system of like a double apportioning? Either do it based on the numbers of the people who left Mitzrayim, or based on the numbers of the people that are going to enter Eretz Yisrael. Why do it based on both in this interesting way? So Rav Moshe Sternbach in the Tam V'Das suggests an explanation that this is a yesodistic idea, which is a limud l'doros, that our schus in Eretz Yisrael doesn't come. Who does it come from? It comes from the koach of our forefathers who left Mitzrayim and when we're kabel the Torah. That it's the schus that we have of what they suffered in Mitzrayim, and then their amunah in Hashem, and their Kabbalah, Satorah, all the hard work and all that they accomplished when they left Mitzrayim. That's our schus to inherit Eretz Yisrael. And there was the technical thing that the people had to come with a force. After the Chinam Meraglim, they were required to conquer it in natural means. They had to come and fight and conquer Eretz Yisrael. And so that's why the Chalukah is in this manner. That those who are coming into Eretz Yisrael, who are being counted now, so it's split up based on their numbers according to their schos. And a bigger Shevet, according to Rashi, I believe the Ramban disagrees, but according to Rashi, a bigger Shevet with more people now gets a bigger portion. But they were not Zoy, but the schos of how we divide it up among this family is only based on the fathers who left Mitzrayim, not the people that we have now. To teach us this lesson, maybe because this is really the schos. The schos is not those who come in and fight their way through Eretz Yisrael now, but rather the schus is based on those who left Mitzrayim and demonstrated their emunah and demonstrated their faith for Kabbalah Satorah. I think this is an important yesod in general. I heard this idea from my Rebbe Ray Luban a couple of times. He would say, how are we going to bring Mashiach if all these generations much greater than us didn't bring Mashiach? And he would say, because it's anas al gabe anak. It's a little ant, but he stands on the shoulders of a giant. That there's this idea that we come with everything from the previous generations plus what we add. And this is a similar idea in the sense that we have to realize that we stand on the shoulders of those who left Mitzrayim, and that's our schus in the land. And Sternbach points out that we have to realize the Doros, that our only schus that we have to Eretz Yisrael is only because of the zera of the Avos who Hashem was co-respres with, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And it's only if we follow in their footsteps and serve Hashem the way that we're supposed to, that we'll be able to hold on to Eretz Yisrael and have the schus to have the kinyan in Eretz Yisrael. So we just have to have that perspective of valuing the greatness of our earlier generations of the Yotz Mitzrayim, valuing their principles and realizing that we have to stand by them, and that'll be our schus to Eretz Yisrael. Especially in these dangerous times now, we're in the 3 weeks, the time when we think about why we don't have more than we have now, and we have to try to, as much as we can, to try to tap into our real value system, tap into the schus of our avos, and amidst Hashem will help us do it and help us be zoiche to the binyan beis hamikdash. Have a wonderful Shabbos.